Hi, welcome to Skill Talk, the Soft Skills Success Show. My name is Michelle Lee, the founder of Soft Skills for STEM.
And you know what? You can't be trying to put your mess on somebody else. We don't get down like that. As a matter of fact, we got a Duncan Nugget. This Duncan Nugget says, never let other people's mess get in the way of your success. We kind of know what we're going to talk about because we know we're going to the Virgin Islands. So you want to check out that episode for sure. And until then, be safe, be well, and be blessed.
Dunkin' Nuggets.
Boom.
Hi, welcome to Skill Talk, the Soft Skills Success Show. My name is Michelle Lee, the founder of Soft Skills for STEM, and my co-host, Al Duncan.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, yes, indeed. I'm still here. I'm good. I'm on time. You know why? Because I'm a professional. I'm a professional. That's what we're going to talk about today anyway, right? Professionalism.
Yeah, professionalism. So this is the continuation from our self-management and professionalism cluster.
Right, that's right. And this was brought on and inspired by the corona quarantine. We've seen all these skills be brought to the forefront in particular because people got to manage themselves. They're at home working for the first time for some people. You got students taking classes online for the first time for some of them, or taking entire courses online. So this whole thing is just crazy. And we've had a good series so far, so we're going to keep it going.
Yeah, so we talk about professionalism. There's like one of our one professionalism trait that I haven't really been doing, and that's
Uh-oh.
dressing up.
Uh-oh. You about to tell yourself.
Yeah, I don't have to dress up to go to work. But you know what? A lot of people think professionalism has to do with your attire and how you dress.
Yeah, it does though. It does have something that's a big important part of it. I would agree with that. It does. You know, long before you open your mouth, people see you, see
That
what
is
you look
true.
like. Like you don't look like a professional. You look unprofessional. That's
Yeah,
not
you know,
good.
yeah, unprofessional, but then, professionalism has many layers.
That's true.
And the first thing that you really think about is your appearance.
That's right.
And they
I
say
agree.
when you go to a job interview, you need to dress professional.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about the self-management and professionalism. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
professionalism really has to do with self and how you carry yourself.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree with that
So
wholeheartedly. You know, especially when you talk about your appearance. We gave them the definition in the last episode. It says proficiency in this cluster enables you to exhibit the behaviors, attitudes, and character traits needed to achieve your desired outcomes while conducting yourself in a manner that is on par with the highest standards of your role or position. That means you look the part and you play the part. You actually know how to do the thing. And that's right in line with what you're talking about right now. Because how you going to be a professional, right? But you look like you don't belong here at all. Like you shouldn't even be in the game, let alone be a professional. It's not cool.
yeah, so that's going back to our Zoom class.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Uh-oh. You got to tell them again. Well, I'll tell you. Oh, well, I hope they watch this thing. Go ahead. Let me come over here. Come on. Keep snitching. Let's go. Tell all them again. What did they do this time? Okay. Tell me about the class. What happened?
Well, what I did was, and this is so funny. I laid out the rules
Okay.
of the class, virtual, and I said, when you come to our Zoom class, you need to come like as you were attending class.
Okay. So even though it's virtual, you need to look like it's live, like you're in person. I should say, not live, in person.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So it was funny because Mr. Bombs,
Right?
he got on some of the students.
You had to get on.
But I
Okay.
came to class with a do-rag on.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They actually came to a real class with a do rag on.
Well, yeah, the Zoom class, he said, take that do-rag off. I guess the
Get it
guy
off.
he just got a haircut, so he's trying to get his waves in.
Oh my God! He did. Why he just he should have just got up in class and been like this, brushing that thing. Don't stop at the do rag. If you're gonna do the thing, be a professional. Go all the way in, get the do rag and the brush and everything else. That's just crazy. Are you serious?
Yes, and then one day a student came and she said she had a bad hair day, and they know who I'm talking about. I'm not saying any names, but I think
Okay,
they had like a bonnet on or something, and
a bonnet, like she Little Red Riding Hood. You going to see Grandma? We going through the woods to see Grandma. Get out of here. You did not just say a bonnet. A bonnet?
yeah, had a bonnet on their hair because they was
What?
having a bad hair day.
Oh my goodness. Then the real question is, would they go to an actual real class in person with a bonnet or a do-rag on? You know, would they? That's a good question. I don't know. It wouldn't
Well,
be the first time I've seen students trying something crazy like that.
well, I mean, there's certain things and ways that you need to conduct yourself. It's a time and place for everything, and so I had standards for the class. To
Good.
be on time, and to also dress the part. And I also withheld those standards too, because I wouldn't turn my video on if I did not look right. Even though I wasn't teaching, I would, listen in on the class.
Right.
But if I was not presentable, because of course I'm getting up earlier, the class is Central Standard Time, I'm
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time. But I needed to go do something. It's like, Mr. Bond's like, Michelle, turn your video. I'm not turning it on because I am not presentable.
Is the video not going on? And if I turn on the video, I'm not going to be on the camera. You're going to see a chair there. That's it.
And that's, yeah, you just go see the S3 logo and that's it. You can hear
Right.
my voice and that's it, because it's like you got to practice what you preach.
This is true.
I got to be a role model that said, don't do as I say.
Right. Do as I do.
Yeah.
What they see is what they'll be. All that type of stuff. I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah, don't do as I do, but do as I say. That's what that
Don't
was.
do it. Yeah, that is. That's the real one. That's what they try to always hit us with too. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. Okay.
Yeah, so when we talk about professionalism, and I see a lot of stuff when people are, I'm a professional, but they might dress up as a professional. That's where they say it's one dimensional, but then there's other things that go with professionalism. And one of the things, Al, when I went to go look at that definition,
Yeah.
I really couldn't find a definition. I just saw like traits of professionalism, qualities of professionalism, the top 3 qualities of professionalism, but trying to find a definition. But the definition you just gave, when we talk about the higher standards.
Yeah. The highest standards of your profession, on par.
Yes.
That's right. Conduct yourself in a manner that is on par with the highest standards of your role or position. That's it right there. Conducting yourself, right, in a manner that is, I'm dressing the right way, I'm talking the right way, I'm acting the right way. All that's on par with the highest standards, not the minimum standards, not the average standards, but the highest standards of your role of your role of profession. That shows that you are it's showing a certain level of proficiency in this particular cluster. So I'm with you on that. And you know what? It's always hard to find definitions for professionalism. I struggled with that myself, even when I was trying to come up with these clusters, years ago. And I tell you what's funny, people might have a hard time saying what's professional, but they know unprofessional, don't they? They tell you real fast, that's unprofessional. You are so unprofessional.
Oh yeah, so that goes with, I guess, we talk about, I think we have the A's.
Oh yeah, we got the A's.
The A's of professionalism.
The A's of professionalism. We're gonna bring them up. Let me pull them up for you. We're gonna pull them all up, and then we'll run through them individually. But we got the A's. That's how we do. We got the A. That's how we are, dude. So as you see them,
you like that A's because that stands for Al.
It does stand for Al, stands for Al, stands for awesome, almighty, all that good stuff. And I just like, appearance. Hey, there we go. You know what I mean?
So we
attitude.
about that attitude.
Hey, all right. We got aptitude. Hey, we got accident behaviors. Hey, oh, this starting to sound like a song. Oh, accountability. Hey, I don't know what's going on. I got musical all of a sudden. Okay, but anyway, there go our aids of professionalism: appearance, attitude, aptitude, actions and behaviors, and accountability. Hey, all right. So let's talk about these real quick, Shell. Now, and speaking of professionalism, every now and then y'all might hear me call her Shell. I know she's Dr. Michelle B. Lee, but when you're friends like we are, every now and then the word, I call her Shell. It comes out every now and then. But she's Dr. Lee, okay? So appearance, first of all, just so you know, in case you didn't want to know, in case you wanted to know a little bit of scientific information for you, it takes anywhere from 4 to 9 seconds to make a first impression. That is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I've already decided certain things about you. You can call it fair or unfair. You can say don't judge a book by its cover, whatever, man. It's human nature. We all do it. So within 4 to 9 seconds, that's based on your appearance. People have already put you in a category. They've already decided what level of professionalism they think you're operating at already, just to begin with. So appearance is crucial. Now your attitude. Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to throw something in there too?
Yeah, let me give you an example.
Okay.
So if you're going in the store.
All right. Hold on.
And people who, dress nice.
Yeah.
They get all the attentions from the salespeople.
Oh, yeah, you know that instantly. That's going to happen.
And then you have somebody coming in there, dressing not so nice or just regular street clothes. People make assumptions just based on your appearance.
Right or wrong.
And, I had a professor a long time ago when I was at Grambling State. He told me there was brothers, they taught English.
Mm-hmm.
They were debonair. I mean, they dressed to the hilt.
Okay.
And he said he went into the store, they flocked to him because he was, dressed up, had a suit on. And then there was this family over here and they just had coveralls on. They didn't dress. But he said, I might have spent all my money on my wardrobe and didn't have a dime. Whereas he said that family over there pulled out cash to pay for their appliances.
Mm.
So, I guess the moral of the story is, people do, and this is just society and this is culture and this is just norm. They will judge you, based on your appearance, but you should not judge a book by its cover.
You shouldn't, but boy, it's hard not to. It's hard not to. I'm sorry. It's hard not to. If I run into you and I'm interviewing you and you come in and your stuff looks jacked up, you're raggedy, I'm sorry. It's hard for me not to judge you. However, we all know that you can't do that. But that's a different type of professionalism. That is your ability as a professional to not fall for unconscious biases and things of that nature. But you can't depend on other people to be that way. So you got to look and dress the part. That's what you tell them all the time. That's why they got to act a certain way in class, right?
Yeah. So, but then we talk about clothing, but then also like tattoos.
Uh-oh, okay. You got to get on it, okay?
Throw it out there.
Depends on where the tattoo is, yep.
Yeah, and depending on the profession that you go into, tattoos might be acceptable and sometimes it might not be acceptable. And I remember when my niece and nephew wanted to get tattoos, my sister's like, okay, well, it's your body or whatever, but let's talk this. She made them go do some research.
Mm-hmm.
And, pretty much what they found out about it was I should be able to cover it up.
Yeah.
So you got to think about the ramifications when you get tattoos and the opportunities that you might not get because somebody's judgmental about a tattoo.
Right. So be careful if you're going to get one right across here, like, right. I mean, on your forehead, you might want to rethink that. I'm just saying.
Hair, and then appearance, your hair, and then also your hygiene. So all those things go in with appearance.
I agree with that. And, and all this, of course, we are stating all of this with with understanding that at the same time, there's certain things about your appearance that people can't be discriminating based on. Like there's certain things that are you naturally that might be part of who you are. And you're like, well, they shouldn't be able to discriminate on that. And I'm saying I do agree with that in general, as society as a whole. And there are certain laws put in place, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, that help to protect you for that. Now, that being said, it's also a game. That's called the game of success. And every game has a uniform. So I ain't trying to hear it. Like, you don't show up to the football field with your tuxedo on, right? You ain't going out to a concert. You're just showing up like you ready to play football. You wear the right uniform for the right game. That's all I'm saying. So, and within there, you should be able to be comfortable with who you are as a person. You laughing at me, Doc? I see you.
That is true. That is so true. So
Yes.
we went to the next one.
Okay. Let me pull this up and say we got attitude. Yep. You stank attitude. Don't nobody want to deal with your messed up attitude. I'll tell you right now.
And your attitude can kill your appearance.
Yes, it will. You look sharp, but all of a sudden, you know what? That suit just don't look as fly no more, man, because your attitude, I can't even see it anymore. Like your tie was looking nice until you started talking. Now I can't. I miss everything else. So your attitude definitely plays a big part of this. Y'all know this already. This goes without saying. Attitude is everything. Okay. I once saw a sign in a store. I walked to the store. And you probably seen a sign like this too before. It says, your level of service is subject to change depending on your attitude. So I'm like, okay, I guess that establishes that right there, and for some reason, I don't know why it works this way, but you turn people on or off with your attitude, and attitudes are contagious, but more importantly, attitudes are subjective. That's one of the most frustrating things I had to learn. That is, you got to be careful, because some things that you do, you might not even have an attitude, but you could appear to have a bad attitude or the wrong attitude in a particular situation when that's not even the case. So just be careful, just be mindful of things of that nature. Once again, we're always threading the needle, saying we got to toe the line. Be careful about letting somebody totally intimidate you or dictate who you are as a person or judge you wrongfully when they shouldn't be. And you got to balance that between saying, no, you really have a mess of attitude. Like you are not in a good mood today. So be careful about that.
Yeah, so attitude is connected to your communication.
Yes, I agree.
And it can also be, whether it's verbal, your body language, or written.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta check that attitude.
You do, because the episode started off and I'm like, yeah, y'all know what it is. I'm slumped all down in the seat. You're like, nah, we're glad he's coming. He's a little bit too, look at it. He is too comfortable. This one, what's up with y'all? I'm in the Corona quarantine. We about to do this anyway. Like that, right? My body language is not cool. Or if I get on here and I'm just looking real humdrum, I'm so excited to be here. That's a real great attitude you have, bro. Right. So just be careful. Just like you all can see it, we can see it too. It's real easy. Now, what comes along with that is aptitude, right?
Yeah, aptitude.
Now, listen, we spend a lot of time talking about soft skills. But we never said technical skills are not important. They are extremely important. When we say professionalism, that means you got to actually be able to do what you say you can do. You got to actually be able to do things at the right standard, at the highest standards. You got to be able to get the job done and produce quality, high quality work. That's the bottom line. And so your aptitude, that is your ability, your mental abilities to actually do the job are still very important as well. That's part of professionalism right there. Like,
being competent. I mean,
yes.
Yes.
Like, you don't want you listen. What you do, Doc, I don't want to see no dummies over there. I'm not. No, man. We don't want no dummies handling the radiation. That can't happen. We need certain levels of intellect happen over there. That's just the bottom line. All right. So the other one are your actions and behaviors. I think this goes without saying. If we're gonna talk about your appearance, we gotta talk about your actions and your behaviors. These are the things you actually do, right? And I can tell you right now, you could chit chat, talk all day long. At the end of the day, the only thing you are your actions and behaviors. That's the end of it, right then and there.
Yep, actions and behaviors. And then based on your actions and behaviors, if they're not up to par, you need to be accountable for them.
Yes. You be accountable.
Accountability.
That's right.
That's part of being a
Professionals.
professional.
Yep.
Owning up to your stuff.
That's right. People love to take credit for their successes and pass blame for their failures. Okay, that's not cool. You can't be like that. You be accountable for who you are and for what you do, and for any mistakes, and take credit for the things you do well too. That's perfectly fine, but you got to be accountable. And these are just a few of the A's that we threw out there for professionalism. These are some words to help you all not think of a definition, but just some things that people might use to judge you. I'm thinking of some other words right now in my mind, though. I got some words that just popped into my head just now. I'm thinking about words for unprofessionalism. Can we get some words for them? Like unprofessionalism. I'm thinking like, they say things like, what do they say? They uncouth. You uncivilized. You don't know how to act, right? How about ratchet? How about hood, ghetto?
Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you what my grandma used to say.
What'd she say? Give me some. Give me some.
Heathens.
You bunch of heathens. You godless heathens. You bunch of godless heathens. Y'all acting like heathens up in here. Act like you got some sense. You're trying to say you unprofessional, right? What about the old standard? Ignorant, not ignorant. Ignorant. You gotta get that OR out of there. It's ignorant. That's when you don't know how to act. All right. So this is so there's plenty of words for unprofessionalism. You all already know them. You know why? Because people have a hard time, as we said earlier, recognizing, giving a true definition of professionalism or deciding exactly what it is. But I tell you what, you get all kind of people to agree on what's unprofessional very quickly. I'm talking about you see unprofessional people calling other people unprofessional all the time. It's crazy.
That is so true.
Yes, it is true. So there go our aids of professionalism. There go a couple words that you don't want to be. I gave y'all some words that you might have to head over to the Urban Dictionary, depending on your age. I don't know if you know what these words mean or not.
Or obsolete in the dictionary.
They might be obsolete. That's true. Because I'm sure some more. You got me with the heathens. You bunch of heathens. that thing cracks me up right there. You act like a bunch of heathens. So anyway, don't be a heathen. Don't be acting like a heathen at work. That's all we're saying, or in your profession, or whatever it is, or in class.
And they're probably saying, "What is heathen?"
Hey, I would tell you, really, a heathen is not what they try to make it sound like, but that's okay. Y'all go look that up. The real definition of heathen is no different like looking at the real definition of ignorance. It's just not quite what it means, but you know what they're saying. That's the whole point. Don't be no heathen. Don't be acting ignorant. Don't be ratchet. You're like, well, Al, are you being unprofessional saying all this stuff? No. I'm not. I'm a professional communicator. I get paid for humor also. So I get to do these things within reason of my particular profession. I'm operating according to the highest standards of my profession. That's called be edutaining. Right? Be entertaining, go back and forth. So just keep that in mind. That's why I said professionalism is in the eye of the beholder. It depends on your particular industry, your particular occupation, and a lot of times depends on who your boss is or who your professor, your teacher is. You need to understand all of this. That's part of your homework. Do it and you will succeed.
You know what? I want to mention something. So a lot of times we learn from our environment.
That's true.
And, managers actually dictate the behaviors in the workplace.
Yep.
And you have to recognize just because your manager is acting a certain way, that doesn't really give you liberty to act the same way.
This is true.
And conform, so, like workplace have cultures and all that. So you also have to be mindful. You have a compass, a moral compass, and you should know what, for your standards, what professionalism should be.
I agree with that. That's
and
good.
How you want people to perceive you.
That's very important. Right. So you need to have your own definition of that as well, right? That's what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I
because
agree.
it's subjective.
And you might have a manager who's not doing what he or she is supposed to do, but that doesn't mean that you have to let that person influence you into exuding unprofessional behavior yourself.
That is so true, and I see that all the time in the workplace.
Yes. Well, you
I
got to tell
think
somebody
because
off.
your manager is acting that way, they think that behavior is acceptable, and they
Right.
start to exude those behaviors.
And that's not cool. You
It's
know,
not cool.
your manager running around hollering, yelling at people, talking to them any type of way they want to. You can't do that too. You got to learn how to tell your manager off professionally. With a smile on your face, professional. That's all.
That is, yes.
Yes,
You can get your point across
this is very
professionally.
true. That is definitely true. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go on up here and bring up this last Dunkin' Nugget we got for them. I think that's where we are, right? We're on the Dunkin'
Yeah,
Nuggets now.
Dunkin'
So
Nugget.
yeah, so when you talk about professionalism for me, it really kind of boils down to one word, this whole, like, because it's such a matter of perception, and I'm careful. I'm very careful because uh, I don't feel like people should always get to decide who you are. As a matter of fact, I'll give you another Dunkin' Nugget. It's not even on the screen right now. That's Dunkin' Nugget number 40. That is, a person's definition of you does not define you. So yes, we're talking about professionalism and certain standards. But however, that does not mean people get to define who you are. But the perception that they have about you has a great and immeasurable impact on your particular profession. So Dunkin' Nugget number 71, for me, this whole thing boils down to one word. We're talking about personal branding right here. So your personal brand is a representation of you, not the real you. It's a representation of you in the minds of other people, all right? It's the perception that people have about your character as well as the quality and the value of what you do. Just keep that in mind. So, when we talk about self-management and professionalism, it's so subjective. It's so much of a representation of you in the minds of other people. Just keep that in mind. You're just here to play the game and to win the game. Doesn't mean you sell yourself short. Doesn't mean you sell yourself out. But you still come to sell what you can do, right? And make sure that you are succeeding and accomplishing your professional goals, whatever they may be. And a lot of times, unfortunately, that boils down to perception and your personal brand. So just keep that in mind.
I think you,
Anything else we need to drop on them right now?
I think you summed it up really nicely.
Okay.
Your,
Well, there it is.
your personal brand.
It's all about your personal brand. All right. Just make sure your personal brand is professional. That's all. Okay. So anyway, look, we had a good time with you all as always. My name is Al Duncan. On behalf of Dr. Michelle B. Lee, we look forward to seeing you on another episode of Skill Talk. And until then, be safe, be well, and be blessed.
Dunkin' Nuggets.
Boom.